Hi there, welcome to Man Making a Difference Every Day. My name is Sola John. Today I'd like to ask a question. How important is sex to a man? How important is sex to a man? I want to tell you a simple story. When we had our son, and then my mother-in-law came to help us with the baby, something interesting happened. The baby was always crying for breast milk, and each time he cries, the mother tried to give him the breast milk to suck. And my mother-in-law said something very interesting. And she said, boys are always like that. And she made it a point of duty when she was giving birth that she won the boy's child from the breast, faster than the females. And out of curiosity, I was like, but why? And she said something like, they will still meet breast in the future. You know? Each time I remember that story, I just laugh. But let's look at it this way. Is the male species all about reproduction? Is the male species all about pleasure? Is that all we can do? I'd like to ask another question. If that's all we can do, then will that be one of the organs that God has given man? And he didn't make the whole man to be a phallus. Think about it. But here is the issue. The society, for some reasons, believe that men don't think of any other thing apart from the female species or apart from sex. Sadly, a lot of men have also made their life something roundabout, sex and women. Some have even gone as far as objectifying women. And so every woman they see, they think of them in the light of how good they will be in bed. It's a conditioning. And psychologists may have told them that men don't think of any other thing apart from women. But of course, you can see with the rise in other kinds of sexual orientation, you will see that men possibly think outside of women. But that's not the point. The point is that is the male species all about sex, and is the female species all about being sexualized or sex objects? Because of this psychological understanding or psychological, experiment that men are always interested in women, now women are used to sell virtually everything from toothpaste to cars. What has nothing to do with women, they are used to sell it. Because it is believed that when women are used, men will be attracted to it. But now, back to individuals. How do you view sex? A lot of us in our society, we don't talk so much about it, and then we get to know about it through the media, we get to know about it through the TV, we get to know about it through the magazines that we read, through pornography, some through movies and television and different means. And we don't get to hear the right and the appropriate thing. But I'd like you to know that the male species is more than a sex object, and the female species is more than a sex object. Some men even try to experiment. Their ego is tied to their sexual abilities. That's not true. One, we have brain to think. And the power of that brain is in what we focus on. So your brain is as powerful as what you think about. Okay? There's something we teach in emotional intelligence. It's called mindfulness. Mindfulness is your ability to concentrate your thoughts on something or to clear your mind and reset your emotion. It also means therefore that if your mind is full of something, that is, you choose to think about the females, you choose to think about sex, then your mind will be full of it. And if your mind is full of it, then you will look for every avenue to experiment, every avenue, every opportunity to demonstrate that. And I believe that is where the issue, start from the mind. Secondly, what are your eyes exposed to? There has to be some sort of selective exposure to what you see. Focus is very important in life. Whatever you focus your attention on, it magnifies. And so if you are constantly watching pornography, and I'm saying this without sense of responsibility, some men have ruined their homes, their marriage because of pornography. They are addicted to it. They watch it. They began by watching it, thinking they needed, to be taught how to perform better in their marriage or in their relationship. Unfortunately, they became addicted to it. And again, that should be a note of warning. If you have not started watching it, don't go watch it. If you do, you are probably setting yourself up. Whatever you expose yourself to your eyes to, the eyes are the window. They are the window to the mind. Whatever you expose your eyes to, it grips your soul. And once it grips your soul, you can be sure that you are on the path to destruction. Especially with pornography, it reduces your productivity. Research abound about it. It reduces your productivity because it releases dopamine, and that dopamine it releases gives some feeling of satisfaction. And so you cannot be productive. It will ruin your marriage because your partner, your wife, is not an actress. Those guys are just acting. I studied, theater art, so I can tell you. When you act, you are only playing a role that does not sync with who you are. And you are expected in characterization to be soaked into the role that you are attempting to play. And so these guys and ladies are just acting. You didn't marry a wife who is an actor, and so you don't want to objectify the person or objectify every woman that you see. Unfortunately, also you will see that even in the plastic surgery, women are now trying to enhance their body because it is believed that men like a certain type of structure. The sad part of it, I saw an interview where ladies asking why they were doing BBL, and they said this was for men. And then in the same breath, they interviewed men, and men said they wouldn't marry a lady who has done body enhancement. All of those are subjective to individuals. But I'm trying to say that you are more important than sex. You are not a sex object. You are a man, and you carry manhood. Your manhood is the characteristic of being a man. And being a man means that God has trusted and trust in you the capacity, the ability to nurture nature, to nurture people, to nurture children, to nurture women, to make your society a better place. So when you reduce yourself to a sex object for any reason, for reason of pleasure, for reason of ritual, for reason of commercial gain, for whatever reason, you have only reduced yourself in the purpose and the plan of God. And that is not what God originally set you up or created you to be. So you have only malfunctioned. You are functioning below divine expectation. You are functioning below divine capacity. Not to talk of the fact that sex is not just a casual thing. It has to do with the soul. It has to do with the soul. That is why even those who are commercial sex workers, when they change from that lifestyle, they regret because there's something they are killing. Sex wasn't meant originally to be a casual thing. It was meant to be an intimacy, an expression of intimacy between two souls, okay? Between a man and a woman that God has created, who have love for each other. And that is supposed to be an expression of that love, that they are sharing something deep, intimacy. And when you casualize it, when you give it whenever, wherever, for money, for pleasure, or for whatever reason, you have reduced the purpose of it. And that is why in most cases when people get out of that lifestyle, they feel bad, they repent, they cry, they wish it never happened, because it's an expression of the soul. Or when somebody take it away from them without their consent, it becomes a legal issue, because it's not meant to be a casual thing. It's something much more. God did not make it to be casual. That is why even in the law court, it is recognized that you can't take it forcefully. There is a name for it. The law is against it. In most part of the world, the law is against it. Reason, it's supposed to be an expression of affection. All right? The organs are called private parts. It means they are not for public consumption. You need to rethink some of these things. Now, just in case you have found yourself in a shackle where you can't do without sex, some are like that. I once counseled a lady, and I realized that she couldn't survive outside of a man. It was that bad. And I tried my best, but I saw that the problem was deeper. All right? And she wasn't really willing to have help. I tried the best I could. So she was violated when she was about the age of 7 or something like that. And that set her on that dangerous course in life. Set her on that dangerous course in life. And so many people are at that point. But I'd like you to know that it is not normal. It's not a normal lifestyle. If you have not had sex, you can't sleep. If you have not had sex, you can't function. If you are given an opportunity to lead the people, the next thing you are thinking of is how to go to bed with one of them. The next thing you are thinking of is how to take advantage. If you find yourself in that shackle, I'd like you to know that it is not normal. That's one. Two, I'd like you to know that you can break free. Three, I'd like you to know that as I'm speaking with you, I am available to help. So please reach out through DM, just let me know how can we help you. Sometimes, if not most times, it requires a change of lifestyle. Completely. There are things you did that got you in. There are things you must do to get you out. Number one, what are you exposed to? The kind of materials you watch, the kind of things you see, kind of places you go. Then, what do you occupy your mind with? Then, who are the companies that you keep? Are you accountable to anybody? At some point, do you feel you are accountable to someone who can put you in check? These are processes, and some will require prayers actually to break that kind of soul tie. But even when the prayers are conducted, you still need to re-examine your life and ask: is this how I want to end it? Am I just going to be like Solomon Grundy? Am I just going to end it this way? And all I am known for is my sexual exploit. In the course of my journey in life, I've met quite a number of people. I've met young men that have been in this trap, and they hardly can function outside of it. They pride themselves in the fact that they have met X number of women. But guess what? If you think you are using women, you need to think again. Sometimes, if not most times, women may be the one using you. And I'd like you to know also that no woman gives out sex for free. There is always something at stake. My people, Yoruba people of Nigeria will always say, anybody who has luck with women, if you think women are always flocking around you because you have luck with them, they said it's an ill luck. Because others are lucky with money, others are lucky with opportunities, others are lucky with many other things. And you, all the luck you have is just to have sex. If that is what makes great people great, maybe you won't see any other woman again. But there's more to life than that. The purpose of this podcast is just to remind you that you can't afford to reduce your life to sex. Is sex good? Yes. In the context of marriage, fantastic. But is that all to life? No. Because we have seen people who have been married and by reason of one illness or the other, they can no longer perform. Did they die? No. We have seen people who are impotent by reason of accident or sickness. Did they die because they don't have sex? No. And they've gone ahead to become great in life. We've even seen people who are born, maybe they don't have any genitals. It's important that you speak to yourself. It's important that you reconsider your life and then tell yourself, is that going to be what will define me as a man? Can I continue this way? I am married, but I must have side chicks. I am not married, but I must keep multiple girlfriends. I'm in a relationship, but if I have not had sex, I am not comfortable. There is more to life than that. Life was given to you for a purpose, that you should fulfill a purpose. There's an essence, and your essence cannot be all around sex. You need to seek deeper, search deeper, so that you will know why God has created you and function in that capacity. Thank you very much for watching. Until I come your way next time, please try to subscribe, share, and also comment below. I remain Sola John. Thanks and bye.